I heard 3 gunshots and my uncle was killed.
It's known in these parts as the Batang Kali massacre. 24 Malaysian villagers shot dead by British soldiers. The UK government calls it an incident, one that's never been properly investigated.
They were not armed. They had nothing in their hands. They were not running away.
The year was 1948, when the British were battling communist fighters during the so-called Malayan emergency. It was a war that coined the phrase hearts and minds, the winning of local loyalties, a strategy still used today in Iraq and Afghanistan. But 60 years on, the British government may be forced to re-examine events. The official British line on Batang Kali is that the men were shot because they were trying to escape. That's refuted by witnesses and even by 4 of the soldiers themselves. In sworn statements released to a British newspaper in 1970, they said they felt they'd killed innocent men in cold blood and that there'd been no reason to kill them. They also said they'd been warned after the incident that they'd be in serious trouble if the truth ever came out in an investigation.
This is a very clear-cut case, in our view, one in which any right-thinking person looking at the facts and the evidence that's already available would say calls for a proper inquiry to establish exactly the reasons why what happened did.
British lawyer John Halford has taken on the case and uncovered secret government documents which suggest 2 previous investigations were at best biased and at worst evidence of a cover-up. One shows the Colonial Attorney General, who questioned the soldiers right after the incident, thought there was something to be said for public executions as a way of discouraging insurgency. Another from 1970 shows the British High Commission in Malaysia, suggesting villagers could not be trusted, that compensation would bring forward first-hand accounts by the dozen. Although the British government has long said there's not enough evidence for a new investigation, it's now bowing to legal pressure to reconsider. But in a statement to Al Jazeera, the Ministry of Defence said this should not be taken as a sign that an investigation will be ordered and that the reconsideration process will take several weeks. Noah Choi has already waited 60 years.
If the British government still has some conscience, it should apologise and give some compensation.
But he fears he'll not live long enough to see that, and then he'll too carry his injustice to the grave. Laura Kyle, Al Jazeera.